Hello everyone, welcome back to your second set of training videos. This one is going to be over how we can use different Google apps within the different platforms it offers just to create a more engaging environment for our students as we are teaching. We don't want to make our lessons boring. We want to make sure our students are motivated to be there and that they actually want to learn what you are teaching them. So these three applications I'll be showing you will help achieve that goal. Before we talk about those applications, we're going to be talking about why we actually need to use them. Like I've already mentioned, they increase engagement from our students. A lot of times, as we are teaching, if we use a traditional platform such as providing a PowerPoint and teaching directly from it, or just reading out of a textbook, our students are going to get bored. They're not going to want to be there. They're not going to want to learn anything. Even if they do learn something, it's not going to stick with them. They're not going to retain the information. And that's the last thing we want. So we want to connect with them on a deeper level. That's what these applications help us do. They create a fun learning environment where our students aren't only there for school, they're there to actually retain the information. They want to be there, they want to get involved, they want to make sure they are understanding what you are showing them. Using this application, it also integrates further technology. As we are in the 21st century, we don't want to be stuck in just using a textbook and a TV to show some videos. We want to be sure we are using all the technology out there available to us to create that deeper connection with our students and further engagement. Using these also expands our own personal knowledge. We're teachers. We want to continue learning. That's what we're here for. We're not only teaching our other students, but we're teaching ourselves what more we can do for ourselves. So using these will help us accomplish that. The first platform we're going to be talking about is one called Kami. What this is, it's a PDF and document processor. So it transforms any document into an interactive learning experience for not only yourself but for students. It inserts any previously created PDFs or documents. It has slides and the sheets option available also. And it deploys it out to students so that they aren't only seeing it, they can actually interact with the platform itself. They can write notes on there, they can submit assignments, and so on. So this creates that hands-on approach instead of using traditional material covering. Rather than just having students write down on with a pencil and paper, you're having them use their technology, they're engaged, they're actually willing to work. It helps them annotate any documents so they can have notes in there, like I've said before, they can turn in homework assignments this way. You can have a template available, and rather than them typing in it, they can actually use a touchscreen computer or a tablet and they can physically write in there. Because studies have shown that handwriting is actually more effective than just typing, this helps them, the annotation factor, use the actual handwriting platform to do their work so that they are able to retain that information. So moving over to the actual Kami website, this is what it looks like. It's a Google extension, so once you get here, you can click sign up for free, and I'm already signed up. There's all these different ways that you can use the platform. You can open it from a Google Drive document you have, open it straight from your computer if you have anything saved. You can create a classroom assignment. If you have Google Classroom, you have your students in there, you have this option. It opens up straight into whatever classroom you want to embed the assignment into, and it gives every student access to that assignment to go ahead and finish it. You can also just open up a blank page, start with a blank canvas, do whatever you feel necessary to do it. For this demonstration, we're just going to do open from computer. We're going to go ahead and open this document I had already saved in here. This is a previous PowerPoint presentation I had already finished. So as you upload this document into here, you can see here on the left side, there's all these different options you can select from. There's a dictionary where you can go in here, you can look up any words that you don't really feel comfortable knowing. If the students don't know what it is, they can easily click on it and figure out what it is. There's also this text-to-speech option that whenever you go in here, it has all the different ways that you can have them read the page out loud. So if you have those special ed students who feel the need to not only read things, but they need to have it read to them to gain that deeper understanding, this is a great option for them. It automatically takes everything that's on these pages and transforms it into a text-to-speech. This markup is pretty self-explanatory. There's a highlighter on here of different colors you can choose from. You can go in here, students have the availability to choose whatever color they like. I like this color, for instance, so we're going to go ahead and save that one on there. And you can go on here and the students can save any like vocab or questions that they have on here. It automatically highlights it for them and it's there. This box highlighter it highlights a section of things. So rather than just a word or a sentence, it highlights a whole thing. So as you go down here, if students were following along with this and they wanted to remember a piece of information, they can simply highlight this whole section and they remember, oh, that's where all that information is at. It's not just a piece here or a piece there. We need to know that whole section right there. There's also the different options such as strike through. If they know that they already know something, they can simply highlight it and it strikes through so that they know they don't have to worry about that one anymore. And then, of course, an underline, such as these ones right here. These are already underlined, but you can go ahead and go over them, and I'll make a double underline that way. Another option that's really great is it has all of these different comment boxes. So if, let's say you were having students go through this and you wanted them at every certain point to write something that they learned so far, they have the option of either doing a text comment where they simply highlight it, and then over here, it leaves them a text box that they, if it'll let me, that they can then go into, and they have the option to write a text in there. They can also do a voice comment or a video comment. The video comment is a great way to have them interact with each other. There's several other platforms out there that allow video comments to be made, but this one, the video comments are made directly onto this document already. It's not having the students go into another platform, having to remember what happened, and then record a response to it. Going on, there's text boxes, equations, drawing shapes, eraser. You can embed images and stuff. And a cool one is you can actually create a signature and insert it. So if you were using this personally and you didn't want to keep having to write your signature, you can simply just load one in there and paste it on there. So that is what Kami is. It's a great tool just to get everything interactive, especially now with COVID and having everything remote learning. It's a great way to have everyone on the same page and working together. So now the second application, or actually going back here, sorry. There are these different resources that I have embedded in. There's a couple articles that you can read from and then a couple videos that just show different ways that Kami is implemented and can be used. Now going on to the second application. Translate is one, it's really simple, but it can be really effective, especially if you're in an integrated school where there's several different cultures and backgrounds present. This one, it's used on a doc mainly, but you can use it on any Google platform. All it is you go on here to add-ons. As you can see, I have a couple ones in here already. We're going to go into the Translate Plus and click Start. So as that is loading over here, we're going to go ahead and type something up. We'll just say, welcome to the new school year. So that's typed over here. On the right side, you have a selected text. So this is what the text is actually written in already, what you have written it in. We have written ours in English, and we're going to translate it into another language. The most common one you guys will come upon will be Spanish. So we're going to scroll down here and select the Spanish option, if it'll let me. And then we're going to go ahead and copy this text and paste it over here into the translation box and click Translate. And you can see it automatically translated, and instead of having to paste this back over, you can just click Insert and it'll automatically transfer that complete translation over. This is really good if you're creating letters and to-go packets for students to take home to their parents. Instead of having the students translate the actual information to their parents, it takes off that stress. You don't have to bring in a translator or an ESL worker. You can do it yourself, and it makes it more personal and include everyone into the process. So like I said, this one, it's an add-on to translate any written form into another language. It's very easy to use, as you can see, and it creates a bond between students and teachers of different languages, so everyone's on the same page and everyone feels included. Since this is so self-explanatory, there's not very many resources to go along with it, but there is an article here and an article here. This one shows different methods. Use method number 2 for instructions on that Google Translate Plus. Our final application we're going to be talking about is one called Pear Deck. This one is Formative Assessments Made Easy. So what it is, it's an interactive classroom platform that's used to assess, elaborate, and engage students. It can be used with multiple Google platforms. The main one it's used with is Slides, but it can be used with all of them. It contains pre-established templates to use with students. And there's also different ways that you can assess your students throughout the lesson. It includes them in hands-on activities such as the Kami did, and it can create an online classroom setting to keep all your data in one place rather than having to copy and paste it to several different places. So going over here, this is what it looks like when you're signed in. As you can see, there's a Pear Deck for Google Slides. That's actually a different extension. My favorite one to go over here to, though, is pop-up activities. What these ones are, it's prompts that you can use for formative assessment throughout your class day. So there's ones like during class, drive how you are feeling. If you can't really gauge how your students are feeling during a lesson, just use this. You'll click on it, it gives them a link and a code to insert. And once you open it, we will close the join code. But once you do actually get it, you'll see over here what all the responses are. It will give them the name, give you the name and who felt like that, so you can create individualized lessons based on that itself. And you can also add new prompts as you are going along. And then as you are going back, like I said, there's several different ones you can choose from. They're all very good. Pause and write what you've just learned. That's like a quick write or a minute write, whatever you want to call it. Draw or type 2 things you learned. Reflect on today's activities. There's so many ones. There's ones that you can use to use different student skills, such as drawing, multiple choice, numbers, whatever they're most active with, you can use those to actually engage them themselves. That is my favorite part of this. There's also a vocabulary list that you can use that will give the students their vocab directly rather than them having to find it itself. It's a great study tool. You can easily share it. There's a flashcard factory, which is a neat game that they can play to learn these different vocabulary terms. And then there's also new videos that can help with remote teaching. If you're new, you don't really know what to do, that's what you can do. And there's just different tools to use. This, like I said, the pop-up activities is my favorite because it's a great formative assessment. It's not boring, it engages the students, it gets their mind off of what's going on, and it really just helps them focus on what else they need to do. And then here are some extra resources. We have 2 articles yet again and 2 videos. A lot of these are how to use the platform itself to engage with students rather than how to use it. It's how to implement it. So like I said, using these different platforms, it may seem silly. It may seem like I don't need to do this if I already know how to teach. I don't need to do all this extra stuff. But once again, we're going over these things so we can increase the engagement for students. We can connect with them. We can create a fun environment. We can integrate technology. It's for them and for us. We don't need to be born teachers. We're in the 21st century. We should be evolving and adapting to what's going around us. We should be able to connect with our students more than anyone else has ever been able to. And using these different resources will help us get to that place.